Hey guys, welcome. I'm Arthur Perkins. This is APGamingREAL, and we are here for the 6th episode of On the Table's Top, a show about drawing fantasy worlds while we play a tabletop RPG. Uh, Tonight's game is Mistborn Adventure Games, which has been, to date, my most popular series. I think the first video is approaching 10,000 views quite soon.
So I got to know you, man.
Yeah, it's how Aricido, tonight's artist in residence, found my channel. Sam was slated to be on the original cast, but couldn't make the time.
Yeah, it comes full circle. The first time I ever tried to play with AP, couldn't make the time work, but it was for the Mistborn Adventure game.
True, it's true. Then we ended up playing a political noble game anyway. Full of powerful god emperors and religious weirdness. So, let's see here. I think I have a link. Let me drum that up while we do some quick introductions. Arrow, who are you?
I'm Rosado, or...
Oh, we can barely hear you, man. Can you pump it up? Give me some Lucio.
Oh, yeah! Alright, I'm Rosado, I'm Carvello, and I'm an artist. I do mainly stuff for AP's channel and commissioning and stuff. You can find me at Carvello, at Carvello at Twitter, and see reach me out on there or my email too. That's Carvello.
We got to work on your audio, man. You're like...
Sorry.
Whoa, that was a little better.
I'm trying to swallow my microphone here. My email, my email is bicarvello@gmail.com. You can send something there, and we can talk about commissions if you like. If you want, I mean, it's your call. You don't have to, but
Are you saying that people can go to your Twitter at bcarvello or go to bcarvello@gmail.com and get you to make art for them for money?
see, you're way better than this than I am. Yes,
I'm
that's
terrible
what I'm
at this.
sure to do.
Just real quick, Arrow, can you go to the bottom left-hand corner near the mute button and click the audio options and make sure that you've got like some sort of mic boost on or something like that while we hop over to Sam.
Okay.
Let's figure out who you are.
Hello, my name is Sam. I'm Wizenedfool on Twitch, Wizefool on Discord. I'm lucky enough to play a couple different games with AP. I was on his Mouse Guard short campaign, which you can find on his YouTube. I also play with him most Sundays when we can get the time right in a Burning Wheel campaign over at twitch.tv/Eric Vulgaris. I also have been getting more into my own streams, been streaming some Dead Cells of late. I'm absolutely loving that game. And I am really, really stoked to play some Mistborn. It's a favorite series of mine from one of my all-time favorite authors. I throw a bunch of references and stuff of his into my own games and steal mercilessly from Brandon Sanderson. So I'm excited to play the actual Mistborn adventure game today.
True, it's true. I also steal from Brandon Sanderson shamelessly. And I want to thank our friends at Crafty Games who make this game and Gamerati who publish it for giving us some shout-outs tonight. In the chat, I've linked the Crafty Games link for where you can purchase Mistborn Adventure Games if you want to follow along. Or you can head to Mistborn Adventure Games link right there and pick up the primer, pick up the preview, and learn how we're going to play. I am Arthur Perkins, and I make tabletop role-playing shows. Aricido came to me and said, let's do a show where I make art, and I said, cool, I think I can do this. Let's figure out the setup. First episode was a disaster. But we worked it out, and now we can do this fairly regularly. I've got about 3,000 hours of content, over 3,000 videos, and 30... I have a lot of threes in there. 30 different RPG systems. And I think... Did we agree in 2 weeks? We were going to look into it. Just a quick note for the next episode. I'm aiming to do a multiplayer game. It won't be me and one person. We're going to edit this overlay. We're going to push Aricido to the absolute limit and play with like 3 or 4 people a Burning Wheel game about a noble lord who requires a court. And his name will not be Count Swan, but it'll probably be pretty similar. 333 is the number of the AP. So there's some questions here. What kind of character is Sam playing? Is he a gold? Well, no, he's not. He's a lurcher. But we'll explain all that in a moment. Mistborn is a fantastic novel series. And there is so much going on that I don't want to spoil anything. But suffice it to say that there is a description that Brandon Sanderson talks about often, the author of the series, that I feel is relevant. Mistborn takes place in a world where Ocean's 11 is happening in Mordor 400 years after Sauron gets the ring back. There is an immortal god king, and the main characters are all thieves and heisters. Your character is also a thief and a heister and a rebel and a bad person. So there's a concept and 10 questions I get to ask you. And that determines who your character is and how they play. So let me ask you. You get anywhere between 1 to 4 words as a concept. What do you got for me?
I am the saboteur.
The saboteur?
I'm the man on the inside for 4 words.
Man on the inside is perfect. I mean, as we mentioned before, you're Hercules Mulligan. The spy on the inside. You better lock up those corsets. Why did you join your crew? So let's actually talk about the 2 crews that you have.
Yeah, so in this game, one of the main components is building a crew. Now, I kind of cheated because I didn't want just 1 crew. I wanted 2.
I know, he's greedy. There's only 1 man, but he wants 2 crews. Normally you need at least 4 players to make 1 crew. What a rookie.
So I have my true team, which is a group of...
Well, we are getting blowout here. Aricido?
Yep.
I don't know. I think... Is it from you?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. If you can't hear it, it's probably you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I heard it, so...
Yeah.
Jesus, man. Is that better?
But now we can barely hear you again. Audio problems all night tonight. Welcome to AP Gaming Real, everybody. Welcome to AP Gaming Real. You can't say Mistborn without me jumping up and down. Perfect. All right, Sam. Sorry I interrupted you, but we're back to 2 crews.
Yes. So my true crew is a group of ska, mostly mistings, which means they have 1 magical power in this world. My second team is the devious Steel Ministry. So, you know, think the Spanish Inquisition, but with magical powers. So I'm playing both sides here. I have some loyalties tied to both. I'm supposed to be playing firmly for one side and a double agent for the other, but as we'll probably explain a little bit later, I have some torn loyalties here.
Excellent. I feel like your character right now looks like he's preparing to go into the Final Fantasy Tactics series.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty okay with that.
All right. Why did you join the rebellion?
So I joined the rebellion because my sister, who also is blessed with elementic powers, which is what one of the main magic systems in Mistborn is called, and she was taken by the Steel Ministry to be turned into a Steel Inquisitor, which are super badass killing machines. I hope I don't run into her, but I am sure that AP will make sure that I do.
Well, how can we phrase this in a 5 or fewer word trait?
Oh,
the answer to this question is your drive trait, my friend.
Yeah. So
why did you join the crew?
My sister was taken.
Your sister was taken. Okay.
So
Interesting.
you went to doesn't know how an Inquisitor looks, it looks like
Yep,
this.
they have iron spikes that go through their eyes and out the back of their head, and yet somehow they still live. It's weird. How did you live before you joined the crew?
So even before I joined the crew, I was a saboteur. I have always been blessed with the ability to talk my way into and out of things, and I have some magical abilities as well that help me get out of trouble. Um, so I've played the role of the man on the inside before, and it has in fact gotten me into trouble before as well. Which, as I'm sure Eero is going to draw, I have a scar from my time working as a saboteur in the past.
So your profession trait is then saboteur.
Yes, sir.
Well, you're probably going to get a lot of work out of that one.
I
What's-
hope so.
What special skill do you bring to your crew?
I am a lurcher. So what that means is that I can pull on metal, make it so that I have gravitational pull on the metal. So if I'm heavier than the metal I'm pulling on, it flies towards me. And if the metal is more secure than I am, heavier in weight, I fly towards it. And I can pull on these things up to a maximum of 100 miles per hour. So I can get going pretty fast.
Right. You can't use an actual class description as your trait. What do you do as your special skill?
I am the infiltrator. I'm
Excellent.
sorry.
Excellent. What is your most distinctive feature?
I chose Iron Resolve. The way I describe this is my character, he just keeps going. He just keeps going.
All right, interesting. All right, the next question I think is probably one of the best ones I've seen. How do other people describe your personality?
Trustworthy.
You're gonna go far, kid. Do you have any special powers like magic or shapeshifting?
Yes, so I jumped the gun on this one, but I am a lurcher. So I have the ability to burn steel, which is the elementic power of pulling on metal.
I think you mean iron.
No,
Coin shots are steel.
let me double check. I
Iron.
think
I'm a dunk on you on this one, son.
you might just. But let's double
down
check.
with me.
Listen, my friend. You're coming at a walk-in copper mine right here. Let me tell you about Threnody real quick, okay?
You win. Iron
know.
misting. I lose.
Some people call me the Shard of Ambition. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this next question. Are you especially fit, smart, or charismatic?
So, I am more fit than I am smart or charismatic, but I'm rather well-rounded. I am not a min-maxer in this particular game.
Are you well off, or do you struggle to get by?
So I'm moderately well off, but I'm not really wealthy.
Rough. That's rough. What is the worst thing that ever happened to you?
So the worst thing that ever happened to me connects back to why I joined the crew initially. When my sister was taken, I was too cowardly to stop them.
Okay, that's your tragedy. This is a very important thing in longer term play, the tragedy, and also your destiny. What do you believe is your ultimate purpose? If everything goes perfectly in your life, where do you end up?
If everything goes perfectly, the Steel Ministry is gone, and I'm living in a small shack or cottage on a solitary cliff face overlooking the sea.
All right, Aurelius, calm yourself. All right. So, as it is, I do not write the story. I know, for those of you that are tabletop role-playing fans, this disturbs you. You're so used to the GM being the all-powerful god who decides everything, but you're wrong. The player writes the story. And so allow me to ask you some questions. Yeah, we'll get into play soon enough. The first question, yes, the reason you are blurry, Sam, is because I have to full screen the drawing area, which makes all of our faces very small.
Ah, my bad.
Sorry,
Yeah,
bud.
that
It's
makes
nothing to
sense.
do with you. It's everything to do with this.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't screwing up my camera.
No, you're good. Let's ask the description of your character. We of course have most of a portrait here, but tell us about them in your own words.
Yeah, so Eero has done a remarkable job of drawing this character. He's like exactly the way I picture him right
That's
now.
only because you guys cheated and spent a week talking about it, but
Yeah, but still. So my character's name is Doxon, aka Dox. He's an olive-skinned man of average height. He has a stocky, well-muscled build and a puckered scar just missing his left eye from a close call in his work. He wears the uniform of the ministry or nondescript ska clothing when with his true crew. Dox has cheek-length auburn hair that he keeps neatly tucked back, or tied back rather, and sports a mustache goatee combo, the same color as his hair, but with some flecks of darker brown. And Dox has an abiding love of the sea, as I mentioned, and dreams of his retirement. He also has a bit of a nervous habit. He tends to be playing with one of his small bits of lurching metal. And he is frequently smiling, but he's not quite there when it comes to his disguise because the smile just never quite reaches his eyes.
all right. First question, what is your goal?
My goal is to break the Steel Ministry. That's for my true team, my main goal. And my ministry squad, our goal is to remove the rebels.
I mean, those rebel scum. Okay, second question.
Now, this one is my favorite answer that I came up with.
Yeah, this is real bad.
My method for my true team, oh my God, it's a mirage. I'm telling y'all, it's sabotage.
I mean, you already know that I did an entire buying a new thing based off of a scene using that music. I bought a kingdom to that music, my friend.
It's a great song. Gotta love the Beastie Boys.
And your ministry squad?
My ministry squad's method is seeking, search, and destroy.
Perfect. Number 3, what's standing in your way?
So for my true squad, we have a multitude of functionaries and an army of inquisitors in our way to stop the Steel Ministry and its evil ways. And for my ministry squad, these damn ska stick together.
Perfect. What is your way in?
So I, as we mentioned, am the Hercules Mulligan of this story. So I'm the spy on the inside. And my ministry squad's way in, violence and terror.
Okay. And the other team?
Oh, so my true team is spy on the inside because I'm the spy on the inside.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I'm caught up. What do you have to work with?
So, for my true team, we have a team of mercenary mistings. And for the ministry squad, we have the strong arm of the final empire.
Yeah, I mean, being able to call on God does help.
It really does.
What don't you know? And my gosh, if you want to see Kelsa freeze up, ask her this question.
So my true team, what we don't know is that Minister Hiram Entrone is on to me. He doesn't trust this Dox person. Something's up with him. And my ministry squad, the vast majority of them, other than Minister Hiram, don't know that there's a double agent.
All right. what could go wrong even better if you want to get a bunch of Mistborn players to freeze up?
So for me, this was the easiest question to answer because so many things could go wrong. On the sheet I have, if I'm revealed, I die. But what someone more familiar with the Mistborn universe would know is that really, if I'm revealed, I'm going to get strung up, and my magical powers will be converted into a hemalurgic spike that they can use to grant someone magical powers.
And then they'll hunt down your whole family.
Yeah, well, well, my family is mostly already inquisitors, so like.
And your other squad?
Now the Ministry squad, the Canton of Finance has demanded we lose no more shipments to these rebels. They've been robbing us blind, and the Canton of Finance will not tolerate it any longer.
All right. What comes next? If everything goes perfectly according to plan, where do you end up?
So the final strike for my true team. There's one big shipment coming in. If we can rob them, they're going to be in real trouble. And for the Ministry squad, they've got a lead on the base.
All right. So from what it sounds like, in your true team, all you have to do is stay hidden, right? You have to just remain passive. And so I'd like to set your objectives by the...
Well, we do have to take that last shipment, right?
Right, but it's not here quite yet.
Right.
I feel like we should set your objectives by the Ministry area, and that way we can set the scenes that are necessary.
Sure.
And then when it comes down to which side you fall on, we can do that if and when we get to a big showdown.
Sure.
All right. So, objective 1, what's your in? Violence and terror. I feel like the first scene has to be related to that. Like a James Bond opening, it has to be you and your crew beating down some ska in the street, trying to shake them down.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. So, because I have the power of the GM, or technically the narrator, you have to write it down on the page.
No!
Under objective 1. And according to this, what you want to do with your ministry is secure a path, scout the area, get a shipment passed. So I feel like we should have objectives that kind of play on that, right?
So I think maybe like maybe this is related to the first objective, but like right now we've got a lead on the base, but we know that the Canton of Finance will not accept any more failure out of us, right?
Right.
So we probably want to like confirm that this is actually the base and make sure that we're actually going to be able to catch these ska unaware and make sure that we crush these rebels once and for all.
All right. So I feel like number 2 might be scouting to set up the ambush for the shipment. Number 3, I think, is going to be conferring with Minister Hiram and Trone in the Canton of Finance to launch the mission. Number 4 is going to be it. It's going to be getting that shipment through without those dirty rebels stopping it. And in the process, I mean, number 4 is probably capture the rebels, right? While not losing the shipment. All right.
Sorry, I'm catching up. I'm
Yep,
almost there.
I understand. So I think the first thing that we see is a group of cloaked, hooded figures. Most of them have at least one wooden dueling cane. Some have 2. Some have a variety of equipment like wooden armor on the front of them. And they're moving through mists in the night. And people are hanging out their windows in fear, watching these people pass and closing the windows as soon as anyone looks at them. and you hear people saying, "Ministry, it's the canton." And in the night, there are some thieves. One of them's like on his back, down on all fours, helping lift another one up over a wall. And that's when, hood back, swoosh, we see Doxson. Your squad leader of your little ministry squad raises her cane and points to them and is like, "Have at them, Doxson."
Yeah, so Doc's wearing his customary smile. He probably has some steel, or some iron rather, already ready in his stomach, and he immediately begins to burn the iron, and he tries to pull himself past these rebels so he can attack them from the other side.
So you're like finding a metallic object past them, and you're doing the anime style side strike as you go past.
Exactly.
Interesting. So let's set up this roll. This is definitely going to be a conflict.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll make it a
like
contest. We'll do the equivalent of a bloody versus, right? Rather than turning this into a full thing. The question is, do you hit them? Because if you hit them, you're probably going to knock them out or kill them.
Yeah.
All right. So the important thing here is your physique score. Your ability to navigate yourself close to it and hit them. I'm going to give you an extra die to start with because of your lurcherness, right? You are a lurcher and you're good at it. Do you have any traits or equipment pieces or tools or circumstances?
Yes. So I do have a tool. I have my dueling cane.
Okay.
Which should help me here. It's
Yep.
a heavy, not really heavy, but a polished, probably made of like oak or some other hard wood, and it's well used. Maybe has a couple of dents in it, but it'll hurt if you get hit with it. That's for sure.
I think most of them are capped off with stone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Take another die for that.
All right.
Any other traits you want to call on?
I don't think. Oh, my iron resolve. I don't like hurting Ska. It's not my favorite thing. I really do see myself as a man of the people, but any good infiltrator and saboteur knows that sometimes you just need to steel yourself, pun intended.
I don't know. I'm gonna downvote this one. That would probably work in like a spirit or some sort of social thing, but this is literally just you beating a peasant.
Yeah.
And by degree, we didn't mention it, but you are a noble. This is something that's regularly expected of you.
Yeah.
Is beating your slaves.
Yeah.
It's that kind of world. Yeah, go ahead and roll. You're gonna need to get at least a 2.
All right, so this shouldn't be too hard for me. My physique score is 5, so I'm going to be rolling 7 dice
All right,
here.
you just need to get a pair of 2s or better. 6s are not paired. They're added as nudges, which we'll cover when it's necessary.
Oh, I screwed this up.
You'll get
One
there.
second. I didn't realize how accurate this dice rolling thing that you created for me was.
Very accurate. Highly accurate.
Oh yeah, double 6s.
Well, that's bad for you. You didn't manage to make a pair of anything that matters.
Correct. 6 is only confer advantage, or
Your roll's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.
Yeah, so I go ahead.
The good news is with those nudges, you negate both complications.
Okay.
So you go sailing past these guys, but it's not like you trip, you don't lose your cane or anything. You just fail to make the connect as you go past.
So I like swing, and these guys are like helping each other over a wall, right? So I'm imagining that I like zip past them and just swing right under this guy's legs. And the rest of like the ministers watching me are just like, oh, Docs.
Yep. I love the mist trailing in the wake. I feel like we watch this happen from the sideways, and the mist just like whooshes with you.
Yeah, the mist makes like the anime like speed lines. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? But he zips past and misses, and so then he like turns to see them like leaping over the wall. And Dox is gonna try to follow him unless something changes.
So I feel like the first one definitely gets over the wall, right? The guy who jumped over your shot, he's there. The one who was sitting down so that he could jump over, he immediately whistles and says, "Billy Boat! Billy Boat!" And starts running, but he's running in the direction you came from towards your team. The other person has jumped into a noble mansion. You recognize the grounds here. This is a minor house. You've heard of them. It's the Entrone family.
Yeah, so I know that Hiram Entrone is a member of the Canton of Finance, and I know that my team is on a little bit of thin grace with the Canton right now, so I probably don't want to just totally bust up his mansion.
Probably.
So what I'm gonna do, as this guy is like trying to jump over the wall.
No, he's over. He's definitely over. Yep. He's on the other side of like a 10-foot wall from you.
Sure. So I'm probably going to try to jump over the wall after him. And what I'm going to do is, because there's probably some piece of metal like up like 45-ish degrees in this mansion, I'm going to try to use my lurching ability to assist my jump and just like pop over the wall and just come down on him with my cane.
All right, you're trying to do a controlled fall onto this guy. All right. I feel like the same dice pool is necessary here. I'm going to let you use Iron Resolve as well, because you are literally blind jump, like Mario stomping this dude. Unfortunately, the difficulty has now risen to 3.
Yeah, sure. That makes good sense.
So,
I mean,
I feel like you had to take a couple steps back in order to see the mansion in your sight. Now, we haven't talked about this yet, but when you are burning your metal, when you feel it in your stomach, you could see blue lines in the world that connect you to all the pieces of metal. And there, right in front of you, there's a faint blue line that leads to these parapet-like, there's swords stuck out of the parapets of this small noble manor. And now that you're far enough back, you could jump and grab it and pull yourself toward it, and you probably will make it over the top.
Well, let's find out. So I'm rolling 8 dice now.
Yep.
5s.
Pair of 5s. You don't just succeed, you succeed with 2 extra bumps. You have no nudges, so no special things here. But instead, you pull yourself over, you come down, boom! You land right on this guy's back. The cane almost shatters under the weight of both of you colliding. This guy hits the ground and goes rolling. And he's just like, oh! No, wait! No, wait! Don't! I got a family! Please! Here! And he starts pulling out boxings. The money of the world. He's got a lot of boxings for a street criminal. You know, it's nothing you, a noble, would be enticed by. It's like 10 or 15 of them. But he's got quite a few. Way more than a street scum like him should have. Please, you can have it. All of it. I've got more.
So can the other ministers...
They can't hear it. They're chasing the other guy.
Me.
Yes, you are on the other side of the wall. You can hear them like whistling at each other. You can hear your team leader is throwing clips, which are boxings that have been divided into coins. She's throwing clips, and you hear them bing, 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 bing. Because unlike you, she doesn't pull on metal, she pushes on it. She can force small coins away from her. It's called a coin shot.
Yeah, so I think Dox like hesitates for a moment. You see, it's not like hesitating because of greed, but it's hesitating because he legitimately doesn't want to just kill this guy. But then he, I think he remembers like his role, and he remembers and he thinks about what taking down the ministry will mean for the normal ska. And he just looks at this guy and says, "I'm sorry," and he pulls on the what I'm imagining happens here is like he catches one of the coins that the guy is like throwing out to him and tosses it behind him and then just pulls it back through him.
Yes. So what happens is it hits the guy in the back,
Get wrecked.
and you can hear it. You've heard this sound before. It's the sound of a coin going part of the way into a body. And he does the anime, and he goes all shadowy. We can't see him dying, right? So it's a children's show version of it. He's like, oh! There's like a spray of blood, and we just see a crumpled, fallen body with the face just like, oh.
Yeah, I think like Dox like leans down and says, "I'm sorry" one more time, and then he turns, and this time he doesn't assist himself. You know, he wants to save his iron. He wants to make sure he doesn't run out of reserves. So he clambers over the wall and sort of like Batman crouches on top of it and like evaluates the scene in front of him.
Yeah, your friends have left the Ska alive and are beating him. And you can hear your squad leader just going, "That's right! That's what happens when you mess with the Steel Inquisitors. We're with the Canton of Inquisition. Whack! Whack! You're going to tell us everything you know, traitorous rebel scum. We're going to find all of your little thief friends. Whack! And you'll tell us everything we want to know." And the guy's like, "No, please! I know things. I know friends. Yes, I know a lot of...
Yeah, so as soon as he starts like talking, is there any metal between him and me?
I mean, your squad is there. They probably have some coin pouches."
Yeah, so I feel like maybe there's like some coins like near him from where the coin shot my leader was there. And as soon as I hear that this guy is gonna talk, he like grimaces a little bit. The smile, like just for half a moment, leaves his face, and he pulls on the metal to try to kill this guy. You know, he's gonna pretend like it was just sort of instinct and that he just saw and acted, but really he's making sure that this guy doesn't talk.
I think we're going to roll. We're going to
Yep.
roll. So what happens is your coin starts moving, and by reflex, your squad leader is going to push the coin. So the question is, who's faster? How do you want to assemble your dice pool? Obviously, you get all of your full Lurcher dice.
So I have 5 Lurcher dice, just base. But I think that one of my stunts will help me here. My base Lurcher stunt is that I can pull on multiple targets at the same time. So instead of 1 coin, it's actually 2.
Okay, interesting. All right.
And that I can be up to 5 targets, just so you know.
Let's see here. Well, she also has multiple targets.
No.
Of the same amount, and she's also Steel 5. What kind of traits do I want to activate here? Keen eyes and accurate.
Yeah, those are both pretty good ones. So this isn't mouse guard. I don't ever want to use things against me, do I?
I can use things against you if I feel they're relevant.
Okay, so I have torn loyalties. I was really only supposed to be part of my ska crew, but I have fallen in love with this coin shot. I have a bit of a crush on her.
Is this a trait somewhere?
It's my standing is weak.
I can't use that against you, but if you want to make this... No.
Okay,
I can use your
that's fine,
traits
then.
against you, not your attributes.
Okay, that's totally fine. I won't do that then.
I like this, though. We might pick up on this storyline later.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else then. I'm just rolling the
Oh
6
my
dice.
gosh. You know what? We haven't named her yet. Her name is Lady Entrone. She's the minister's
God
daughter.
Damn it.
Yep. Let's roll. I've got a pair of 4s. Good luck.
Come on. Oh, whoops. I did the same thing I've been doing, which is replacing the number of dice with a 6. Nope.
Nope. You have 4 1s, a 5, and a 6. So I beat you by 3. You can use your nudge to block 1 complication.
Yeah, so I'll do that.
All right, let me pull up the complications table here and see what I can do to you. Character suffers an unfortunate misstep. Character loses use of a prop. Oh boy, I feel like I'm gonna use both of those. So what happens is you're there, you're Batmaning, right? And she pushes the coins away, and in the process, they hit the wall, and you're still pulling on them while she's pushing, and you get wham! You just slam yourself into the ground. To your friends, it looks like you fell off. But to her, she knows you were pulling on it. You fall to the ground, and your vials of extra metals, one of them gets crushed under your body.
Oh no.
And you can replace that anytime during a breather.
Okay, and I think I start with 3 of them because I'm a misting. Yeah, okay.
Yep. You have to have one of them used already because you've indicated that you started with a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we might have a spot for a breather somewhere. Arrow, just so you know, we're getting a little bit of static feedback from your mic. I know it's a nightmare night for you, buddy. I'm really loving this sash right here. I'm feeling a lot of white sand influence.
For sure.
I'm getting all the robes from the Ink Tinker artist. That's the official Brandon Sanderson artist.
Yep.
So pretty much anything ministry
Have
related
you read
would
the
be
white
like
sand?
ropes.
Graphics?
I have not, but I do own them. I will read them someday.
Oh, you'll like them. They're very good. It's the first novel he wrote that never got published, and then they were like, "Cool, we're gonna make it into a thing."
Yeah.
You like his girlfriend. I know you like. I know you like girls like that, Aricido. It's Chrysala, who you might recognize from a couple of the other Cosmere books. There's like 25 Sanderson novels that are all interconnected in the universe through time travel and teleportation. The shit gets bizarre.
But the great thing is you don't have to follow all of that stuff if you don't want to. They're all very independent.
That's true. They're all very independent, except for Stormlight Archives. They're
you'll miss some stuff, but so
here you are on your hands and knees in front of your girlfriend and all of your friends. Everyone else thinks that you fell, but Lady Entrone is looking down at you and offers you a hand, but she's frowning.
Yeah, so I like take her hand, and
I feel like as we zoom out, she's got her foot on the shoulders of the Ska. She's like helping you up off this guy's back.
Oh man, brutal. Yeah, so she like helps me up, and we see Dox is still smiling, but there's like a little bit of like blood on his teeth from just face planting into the ground. And he like puts on this like confused look on his face, and he's just like, what? I was just trying to kill the Ska.
So she uses the tip of her dueling cane to push the Ska's chin up and says, "Do you know anything about a hit, an ambush on a shipment from the Canton of Finance?" And the guy's like, "Well, yes, my lady, I've heard things on the street. I have plenty of news. I'm very useful. If you just let me go." And she's like, "Oh, don't worry. We'll let you go eventually. But you'll be coming with these fine gentlemen. They'll be asking you a few questions at the Canton of Inquisition." And like the 2 thugs, literal thugs, they burn pewter to make themselves stronger. In your group, like what's it called? Monkey gripping, where they lift him off the ground using interlocked arms. He's just like, "No, wait, no." And you're left alone with Lady Entrone, who's looking at you.
I like kind of like put a little, I'm like looking like a little bit like disbelieving, and I'm like, "Minister Entrone, surely this scum doesn't know anything useful. You should have just let me kill him."
Well, what my father knows and what I know are two very different things. We had orders, Doxson. Bring him in alive. Why would you try to kill him?
Instinct, my lady. I landed on the wall. I saw a scar. I tried to kill him. This is an outright lie, just so you know.
Okay. I mean, that's going to be a thing then. Yeah. All right. Let me see here. Let me pull up my contests real quick.
You know, because like I'm pretending that I like didn't have time to like evaluate the situation.
Yeah, and that you just acted. Of course, I get it. Contest in brief. Okay. Probably gonna be a social conflict. Cause you lying. You lying real bad too. You're terrible at it.
Yeah, I'm all right at it. I've got a lot of traits to help me with lying, which is good because it's not my best stat.
Because it's not my best stat. Fantastic. Okay. It's definitely going to be charm versus wits.
Cool.
Let's see what kind of traits you've got. Show me your moves.
So I start with 4 dice in charm.
Okay.
Wow,
this is really bad for you.
Now I do have Iron Resolve. So I'm guessing that helps me a little bit with lying. I am the Infiltrator. And I am trustworthy.
Okay.
So I'm hoping for a 7 there.
So the nature of this contest is you are trying to lie to her and she's trying to get the truth.
Right.
So her wits is 5. I'm going to give her 2 more for keen eyes and pushy.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
So we're both rolling 7.
Yeah. Winner takes it all.
Now, is this different from the last contest we did? This isn't like an out-and-out conflict. This is just the...
This is not an out-and-out conflict. So,
okay.
if you wanted to make this into a conflict, we could. At the end of the conflict, whoever won would be able to ask the other person to do any one thing. Nothing that could harm themselves, but when you go into a full-on social conflict, the winner just has like completely destroyed the other person's reputation. Well, in this case, it'd be like a mental conflict, right? Because you're trying to do, and that's where you can ask people to do something. You've manipulated them into a circumstance where they think that doing what you ask is a good idea. Right now, we're just gonna see if she notices your bullshit.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. So I'll roll.
Oh boy, I got
4s.
pair of 5s.
But right. I have a nudge.
He has a nudge as well. You have 2 nudges.
So can I bump my 4s to a 5?
Cannot.
Or I can just avoid?
You will avoid the one complication you would get. So she's going to know you're lying, but she's not going to like push the issue right now. But she's got a nudge as well. And I feel like I'm going to spend that on something fancy. Let's see here. Nudges. Probably going to use to get a circumstance bonus.
Now, I'm not entirely clear on how it works, but could it maybe relate to the fact that, you know, her father, Hiram, has a theory about me, and maybe he's sort of shared it. Maybe this is like confirming suspicions.
I think she's going to spend it to get an insight about the situation. Okay. She knows you lied, and she knows a little bit about why you lied. Well, so now she's suspicious. Now she's thinking, you know, Dad says that this kid isn't good for me, but now I'm thinking maybe Dad's not all the, you know, not just Dad shaking his finger.
So I think Dox is gonna try to double down here.
Oh boy.
And he's going to he's gonna pretend like he notices that he's getting caught in the lie, and he's just gonna kind of like look like a little bit abashed and blush a little bit, and just be like, I was just trying to impress you, Minister.
Minister is my dad, he says. And I feel like, you know how sometimes people give each other playful swats? She hits you with the dueling cane. Whap!
Yeah. So I just sort of take it. You know, I've got the iron resolve. I've been hit with a dueling cane a time or two in my life.
All right. Yeah,
And
she's
you
a little
know,
upset.
he just gives her his normal smile. We still see a little blood on his teeth.
Oh man, Sam, you're fantastic at this game, by the way. All right,
I appreciate it.
Aerocyto, I'm gonna call on you. I know you're a big fan of this. Why don't you tell us what Lady in Trone looks like?
Me?
Yeah, you. You're the artist here. You're the graphics person. What's
Man,
your
you're
favorite female
putting on my spot,
Mistborn?
huh?
Yeah.
Well, my favorite obviously is Vin,
Oh, of course.
but
I mean, if you want to make her a short, dark-haired, incredibly vicious murderer, that would be fine.
nah, I'm imagining her a little bit like Shanna Lariel, but instead of a black hair
Really,
with red hair.
couple tones down. Oh, okay, I can see it. Yeah, I mean, she's been a little fiery so far.
Yeah, that's right. That's why.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Next scene, we Star Wars wipe to scouting the ambush area.
So how do you breathe? I read these rules, but I wasn't quite
Yep.
clear on them on how the breather works. Is that between scenes I get a breather, or
No,
only?
it's when there's a good situation that you want to sit down
Got it.
and do that in. I don't feel like there's a breather yet. I feel like if you're going to get a breather, it's going to be between scouting the ambush and conferring with the minister. There
Sure.
would be an opportunity for a short breather. Reset your iron rations and recover some hit points if you lost any of your attributes, which you haven't. Sorry, I guess it's called resiliences. Yeah,
Cool.
it's you and Entrone and a tin eye named Jacobs. And that's Jacobs, probably Jokob. Jakob. Jacobs. And we're talking, you're on the city wall of Luthadel. A massive, massive stone structure. Kind of Great Wall of China style. And you're looking down into the city past the Tin Gate. The buildings here are mostly made of wood on this side of the city. Everything's all slanted roofs and peasantry stuff. It's still dark out, so the mist is quite thick. Hard to see very far. But plenty of alleyways all along the path that you'll be taking past a fountain. A lot of places to attack. And Entrone bumps you with her shoulder and says, "What do you think is going to happen?"
So I think that I have a pretty good idea of where it's going to happen. I mean, these are my friends who we're trying to ambush here.
I mean,
and
if you want to, you can just tell me where it's literally going to happen.
yeah. So I think it's gonna happen. Like we've got the fountain, and then we like have like one of those quick cuts where we see like this group of ska like moving furtively through the mists, and then we cut back to Docs, and we can see like he's still smiling, but his smile is like a little. It's just like not all the way there. Even more than usual. You know, he knows he lost the last round. He's running low on his his iron rations, and like any good misting, you know, when he's without iron, he feels vulnerable and naked. Um, and he sort of like pans the area, like stroking his goatee, you know, kind of pretending to be thinking. And he goes, "Well, if I were a ska rebel, I'd make sure to be as out of the way from this wall, from the ability for anyone to get a high vantage point on me as possible. And so he like points to an area that he knows is like completely opposite of where he set up his friends. You know, we maybe see like a little like whispered conversation between him and some ska in the streets, and saying something about, you know, inquisitors always scout the area from up high. And so they're sort of trying to go for the double the double bluff and go into an area where they would never guess that a smart, capable group of rebels would be.
Okay. The Tin-Eye Jacobs immediately points to where that current group of rebels is waiting at that warehouse near the fountain. And he says, if I had to guess, I think they'd be coming from somewhere over there. Thought I heard a few rats skulking about.
Oh, man, what do I do here?
I feel like you're kind of entering into a conflict. You and him over Lady and Trone.
Yeah, I'm definitely there. I think the way he goes about this is to continue to play the bully. I think that's like usually like his infiltration method. So he's gonna like do the same thing that Entrone did to him, and just kind of like knock him a little bit outside the head and just be like, "You're gonna contradict me like this, Jacobs?"
Oh my gosh. I mean, are you using physical violence to intimidate him?
I think that is very much the implication. Okay. I think that this Tin-Eye knows that in an out-and-out fight, I could beat the crap out of him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You get to use your physique rather than any of your other stats for this, then. He's going to resist this with his wits. And, wow, he's going to use Scout and Detail-Oriented to bring him up to 5-7. What do you got for me?
So I have Infiltrator and Trustworthy again.
Yeah.
And
if you bring your dueling cane into this, you can pick up another one. If you want to like stand over him like an old man, don't you trust me, Jacobs?
Yeah. So I think like I didn't hit him with the dueling cane this time, but like the dueling cane is like slowly rising, right? It's like there's a very clear implication that like the next time I will be smacking him with the dueling cane.
Next time, so that's for real.
That would be 8 dice there. Now, if I'm not actually lurching, I can't like use okay, that's what I thought.
No. Yeah, and I don't feel like lurching would help you at this in any way.
Yeah.
No, all right, how many die are you throwing at me, bro?
8.
Okay.
But based on the way I've been rolling, it's not going to matter.
I mean, I'm very good at rolling. I have 3 5s. Let's do it, too. Oh my gosh! You have 2 5s and 2 6s. Your 6 breaks the tie, and then another 6 means that you get a little bit of something extra.
So do I get a list of things here?
You do. I got it right here for you. Combat nudges. You could do a dramatic flourish. You could gain some insight about the target. You could get a bonus die against him in the future.
I'm definitely going to do the dramatic flourish. We're standing on a wall, right?
Yes.
So like, while I do this, I like maybe like try to make it look like a little bit of an accident, but I'm like kind of like smiling at Entrone while I do this. I like bring my like dueling cane up, and as I see that he's going to listen to me, I just like sort of lower it and use it to trip him.
So, again, as you are all mistings, legal mistings, you're all nobles. And when they hear a man trip, several of the guards, who are just ska, see a noble go down and go over to help him. And they're like, "My lord, do you require aid and assistance?" And they like help pick him up, brush his clothes off. One of them waxes his boots real quick for him.
While this is happening, like, Doc starts like chuckling and like makes like he like it's like a low chuckle, but he like knows how to make his voice carry so that like everyone can hear that he's laughing at this guy.
It's a misty night, it goes forever.
Yeah, and so he goes, "I don't know, do you need help, my lord?"
Jacobs does the shoulder thing where he pulls away from you and looks off into the night. You've seen him get this look before. It's when he's using his tin to enhance his vision. When he uses it, he can see through the mists. So he's looking at something and is ignoring you. Lady in Trone sachets up beside you. Takes you arm in arm to go look at the area you've indicated. There's no possible way it could be this area, right? And she's like, very well. If you think it's going to come from here, we'll do it your way. I guess we'll just have to convince my father.
Yeah, he's Dax is pretty pleased with himself here. And I think as he's seeing Jacobs, I'm assuming Jacobs is looking in the direction where he knows my buddies are.
Yes.
I am gonna call back over my shoulder and just be like, are you sure you want to double down here, Jacobs? Or do you just want to follow?
Oh man. Provoking him. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. It's a good one. So we're gonna roll now, but it won't take effect until later. Jacobs is going to make an influence attack against you.
Okay.
He's decided that you're a huge shitlord and that he's gonna do something to hurt your house's standing.
In his defense, I have been acting like a huge shitlord.
Yeah,
So
he's gonna make some sort of character assassination against your house. You defend with your influence score, and he attacks with charm or wit.
So I have a good gimme for you if you want it, which is that I think it's it's not really shameful to have someone taken by the Steel Ministry, but to become an Inquisitor and get spiked. But none of the noble houses really want to see their eligible children taken away from them. You know what I mean?
I feel like he's gonna attack you over in Trone. It's the girl. He's gonna be he's the only reason he's shit is because he's banging the boss kind of deal.
Oh,
all of your power comes from her.
Dagger to the heart. Yeah, that's a good one.
He's going to attack with wits, and he's going to use just observer and detail oriented for 7 dice. Talk about your influence score.
So my influence score is not great. It's 2.
That's really, 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 really bad.
Yes, it is. My standing is my weakest thing here. So I would like to use Iron Resolve because it's really hard to get a rise out of Dox unless he's faking it, right? So frequently he'll let people get a rise out of him, but it's almost always in service of his goals.
I'll allow this, although again, technically he's not attacking you directly. He's going to people in taverns and pubs and having them speak against you, that kind of deal. He's putting the word out on the street.
Okay, so maybe not Iron Resolve. So then I'll go for Trustworthy, because everyone on the street knows that Lord Doxon is one to be trusted. He's a noble. No one really likes the nobles other than other nobles, but they know of the nobles, this guy can be trusted.
All right. Well, let's roll some dice.
Yeah, this is going to be really
if he
bad
succeeds, he's going to deal 1 point of damage no matter how far he beats you by. But every nudge will allow him to deal an extra point.
Okay. Come on.
Pair of 2s. You have nothing and a nudge. So he's going to deal 2 points of damage to you, and you're going to take 2 complications. You have a nudge, so you block 1 complication.
So now I reduce two of my standing scores by 1, basically,
your
or
reputation
1 by 2.
will be lowered by 2. Your reputation is your influence plus your charm.
Influence plus charm. Let me see.
Yep. Everything on the right hand, health is equal to physique plus resources. Wits is spirit plus willpower.
Yes, I've got it.
So what is your full reputation score?
My reputation score is 6, so it will go down to 4.
That's really bad. Okay, so you took a third, but not a half.
Yeah, I mean, he attacked my weakest point. I'm like really shit at reputation.
So I think that it's 1/4, right? I gotta look this up. How bad this is. It's gonna be pretty bad though. What is damage? Conflict, complications, burdens. Okay. Devastating. I'm sorry, this is taking a little while. Okay. Wounded is 1/2 and 1/4 of your resilience. If a single attack deals greater than a quarter of your resilience, you gain a serious burden. So yes, you get hit with the immediate serious burden, but not a grave one. And a serious social burden is gonna be bad, but not terrible for you. I'm gonna throw. I feel like doubted is a good one.
Yeah, it works directly against my trustworthy.
Yep. So go ahead and write down that you have a new trait, temporary trait, called Doubted, which I can call on for a free die. I know, it's really good. Oh man, I'm really loving this dueling cane hitting you. Man, she's a badass.
Does that go under stunts?
No, it goes under traits.
I'm not seeing. I see items, rules, powers, rating, charges.
Right here.
Ah, yeah. I'm sorry. Cool.
Does she have a ponytail on top of letting her hair go free?
Yep, like a samurai.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. And she's a gangster. I really love the eyebrows, by the way. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's
good
great.
one. Solid. All right.
Also, the mark on my cheek from getting smacked. I love it.
All right, so I think we get a short series of scenes where Jacobs is in a bunch of taverns, and people are muttering by the time he's done. We see other lords. There's probably a guy with an eye patch, and he's got a metal sword out, which is very rare. No one uses metal swords. And he's just like, yeah, I've never trusted that fella anyway, that dachshund. They say his family's all steel inquisitors. Why isn't he one? Not good enough? And the word spreads that old Saltbeard, the eye-patched, put the hate out on you.
I think maybe like in response to that scene, we also like get a cut of like Docs walking into a tavern, and like normally he expects to be like it's like cheers, it's like Norm, but like he walks in and like everyone just kind of looks at him and then looks back to their drinks, and he's like, hey,
there's some muttering, definitely muttering.
What happened?
No one's good like Gaston. Beats the sky like Gaston.
Oh man. Okay.
All right, let me find the thing about breathers. I want to see how long you have here. What you get out of it. You might actually completely reverse this damage.
Nice.
While you're waiting. Using breathers. Short breathers are just that. Quick pauses to catch your breath. They take anywhere from an hour to a day. You can recover half of health. Recover half of willpower or reputation. Half your standing. And you get some of your items back.
So can I do both of those?
You recover. Yes. You cover a prop. Oh, sorry. Okay. You only get props back on the long breather. Sorry, bud.
Bummer. All right, so I will. At least I mean that my reputation goes back to what it was.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if maybe this breather is like a scene, because it could be like a day.
Yep.
So maybe like this is my opportunity to like go see my other team.
Okay.
And like that's how I get my reputation back, is I like let them know that they're on, like we maybe see like this like muttering conversation with. I mean, it might as well just be Breeze, because like we know that like this is before anything anyway, and I need a soother out there.
I feel like you and him are sitting in chairs back to back,
like
a library
perfect.
talking. and he's having someone pour him a drink, and he just is like, "Well, what can you tell me, old boy?" He's just idly flipping through a book, obviously pretending to not read it, but secretly actually reading it.
Yeah, he's like legitimately ignoring me, but he's like, yeah. So Doc's like, he probably has his own drink, right? You know, and he like sort of sips it, and like while he's sipping it, he like talks out the other side of his mouth, so it like doesn't seem like he's talking to anyone in front of him. And he's gonna be like, that bastard Tin Eye, he's ruining my reputation all around the city.
Well, I don't think you need a tin eye to do that, old boy.
Well, we both know that you're rather good at fixing these sort of things, aren't you, Breeze?
I could talk to some people if I had the right incentive.
You know, he sighs heavily.
Have you done your part for the resistance today? And by that, I of course mean my wallet.
Yeah. So how do I go about this? I don't like have money on me. I'm not a very wealthy fellow.
You can make a resources test to bribe people. You could also, for instance, pick up more misting vials with resource tests.
Nice.
I'm telling you, man, this game is a lot like Burning Wheel. They came to similar conclusions in Parallel Pass.
So I'm wondering maybe if I can save the resources for later and use Charm. And the way I'm gonna do this is. Oh wait, that's not gonna go. Yeah, no, forget it. I'll do resources instead.
I got a stat block right here for you, buddy. Let me figure out what you're rolling against.
No, I changed my. I realized as I was saying it who I'm dealing with. So I think I'll hold off on that. I'll just go for the resources roll.
Yeah, Preachin's pretty good at being good. All right, so resources. Let's. You're trying to bribe. How badly do you want to bribe this dude?
So I just need like a little bit of help here, right? Like, and Breeze is supposed to be on my team, right? So like he's probably not like totally bought in to like what we're doing here. He like is smart enough not to be dumb like me and go directly head to head with the Steel Ministry. Like we're nuts for doing that,
right? Yep. So if you want to check page 236, it's got the list of bribes and incentivizations.
Yes, let me take a look.
I feel like he's probably indifferent toward. You're not breaking any laws. Doesn't accept anybody's morals, but he's not on your side.
He's not on my side, that's for sure. What was the page one more time?
236.
236. Okay. Yeah, I mean that sounds about right. I mean, I don't think he's like I said, like we're crazy for going after the ministry. He knows he's not going to get rich of going after the ministry, and he doesn't owe me a favor the way he does Kelsier. So that seems about right.
Look at this guy just name dropping. Sam's like, I read the novels.
And unfortunately, I really don't think any of my stunts help me at all here.
All right. Or traits. Yeah, roll some resources. You're looking to get a pair of twos.
So
Soothing, maybe. Soothing.
I'm gonna go for one thing that
My God, that would be amazing.
There's the only thing I can think of that would maybe help me is that Breeze knows that I'm an infiltrator, and so he knows that even though he's indifferent, he doesn't really care. I am on the same side as him.
That's good. But here's the thing. In Mistborn Adventure game, you need 2 favorable circumstances in order to get a bonus die.
No!
I know, buddy. Talk to Kelsa.
All right, well.
She burning willed me a couple times. She's like, I got this thing. And I'm like, that's great. You need 2 things.
All right, so 3 dice it is. Pair twos! Yes!
Double 4s with the 6? Wow. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He names a price, and I feel like maybe you count Swan him. You just like kick something under your chair to his chair, and he like pulls it out, and he's like, It's more than I was expecting.
So does that counts as my nudge, or that just counts as my force?
That's just your force.
Okay, so I would like to gain an advantage die if I ever have to deal with Breeze again.
All right, I'll allow it. Yeah, he looks impressed with you. Always nice doing business with the ministry. Remember to put in a good word.
Of course, Breeze. Only the best of words for you.
And speaking of words, it seems I've just sent my team out to spread the good word of you, if you would excuse me. He sets the book down, but then gets a drink refreshed before leaving the library.
Yeah, I think what I do is like I toss a coin behind me. Hopefully you won't make me like pay for this later, but just for like a little extra, I like toss a coin behind me and like just for the barest instant pull it so it like lands on the table and pays for his drink.
Oh, I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Just for the I guess I probably should have used my nudge for that, but
No, this is something you could do. I feel like it's not gonna be that difficult. I'll allow it. Are you giving her the coin shot necklace?
I mean, it's the steel symbol, so it could be steel ministry also.
Yeah, all right, I accept that. I mean, kinda. I mean, she's definitely not a Mistborn, right?
oh no.
I feel like if you're running around wearing a necklace declaring that you're a steel burner, that's some pretty outrageous.
No, man, that's just the uniform. Every steel ministry uses that. There's a cape.
You know, we haven't talked about it yet, but once you start getting up in rank, Docs, you're gonna have to get your eyebrows shaved and get some sweet tattoos. Your whole team. Let's cut to that. I feel like we're in Trone's office. His daughter's standing behind him. He's like this massive mountain of a dude. He's probably like 6'5", you know, big shoulders, and he's got a shoulder board things that make them look even more straight and big. And he's wearing the full-on ministry outfit of Prelin, and he shaved eyebrows, shaved head, covered in facial tattoos. Basically looks like The Rock in terms of not The Rock. Who is it? Batista that has all the facial tattoos?
Yeah, or like maybe Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
like that.
Oh, Mike Tyson. Yes, he's just covered in tattoos of like straight lines and curves and dots. It's all very strange looking. And he's grumbling when he sees Doxson enter and goes, Doxson. Well, I'm hoping for your success tonight. Once you get it, suppose all of you here will be shaving your heads. Time for you to become full employees of the ministry. Your undercover work will be over.
So Dox knows that this guy doesn't like him, but he assumes that it's because of his dalliances with his daughter and his not very powerful house, and not because the guy actually knows that he's a spy. And so, you know, the grin on his face is maybe the closest we've seen to genuine, but it's just a shit-eating grin. He knows that this guy doesn't like him. And he's like, Minister Hiram, you know we always succeed. We're the best in the business.
That's Prelin in Trone. Wait.
I don't correct myself.
You know, there's something I just don't like about you.
Is it my doubtless charm?
Yeah, that's what it is. He shifts at his desk and begins unfolding a map. So, my daughter tells me that you've come up with a brilliant plan, that you think the rebels are going to use the fact that they know we're looking for rebels to set up a trap where the rebels will go where they think we won't be going.
It's a classic ska move.
Really? Because it's been a while since I've been on the streets, son, but the classic ska move is to make the wrong move.
If only that were the case. It's a low cunning, but these rebels are certainly cunning, else we would have had them by now.
You might have convinced my daughter that you're somehow worthwhile, but you're going to have to convince me to go with this plan. That's my house finances going into this particular venture, and if we lose one more shipment, well, the Lord Ruler is not going to be happy.
Don't worry. What's his title again? Sorry, I totally
Prelin.
blanked. Prelin. He's like, don't worry, Prelin. We'll get this done.
But he
My plan is
gestures to the
brilliant.
map.
Yeah, so I think the plan here is like he knows that he has to like actually somewhat trap his gang, but his gang is ready for this. So like I think what the plan is that they are going to basically try to spring the trap and instead of being caught in it themselves, catch my ministry team in the trap instead. So like I've probably given them like information on like all of my team's misting powers, and like they're preparing like the ways to basically they're like preparing some specialists to like take down the thugs, take down the coin shot, and do the whole thing. So I'm like walking him through this plan, and the whole time I've just got this big shitty grin, like I know for a fact I'm the smartest guy in the room. Yeah, I walk him through this whole plan. I'm very earnest because I really do think that this plan is going to work. It's just not going to work for him.
All right. I feel like it's time to make a roll to convince him. You get a choice here. You can use either your charm or your wits based on how you described yourself as to how you want to convince him.
Yeah, so I've got a great way. So I think I'm gonna go for the wits this time. And so like we see like this like back and forth, and then we cut like it, maybe there's like some music playing in the background. We don't really hear what they're saying, and we hear like the last statement that Dox makes, and he's like, "My lord, I know that you are an excellent hunter. And a hunter such as yourself would know that the best time to trap a predator is while it's in the middle of a strike."
So he was leaning forward, but now he fully extends himself back up. Like, that's the first... You can read from his posture. Like, that's the first smart thing you've said all day. He's waiting to see where you go with it.
And then he like continues, he like sees that he's got this guy. He's on the hook. He's like, "No better time to shoot the fish than when it jumps through the air trying to grab a fly."
Saying, there's no better place than here. There's no better time than now.
Don't let me miss my shot.
Did you watch Hunter Wise?
Yeah, that was
okay,
that was straight stolen from
straight
Hunter
up,
x Hunter. Straight stolen.
I mean, I went with Guerrilla Radio, but yeah. I feel like we were just spamming memes at each other. He's going to defend with his wits, and he's using domineering presence and quick-witted to bring him up to 7 dice.
Okay, so I start with 4, I believe.
You're going to get a bonus die.
Check.
Because Lady Introne is pulling for you with Dad.
Nice. So that brings me up to 5. I'm trustworthy. So I'm hoping that'll give me 6.
Yeah.
I'm the infiltrator. This is literally my job.
Yes, it is.
So that's 7. Let me see if I got anything else here to push me over the top.
I'm going to give myself a die because you got doubted.
Correct.
To bring me up to 8. He's heard the rumors on the street.
I don't think my Iron Resolve really helps me here, does it?
I feel like it does. You
know what I think it is? I think that like this guy doesn't like me.
Yes, that's
quite clear. But he knows. He's like, maybe he's like heard stories of like how Lord Doxson, you know, despite that smile that is always on his face, you know, no matter how many times he gets hit down, he just manages to stand up with that damn shit-eating grin on his face. It maybe even like, maybe he doesn't even like it, but damn if he doesn't respect it.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Nice. All right.
Wow. Pair of ones. Good luck, sir. Let's see what I got. Air Force. All right, so there's a 3 difference. You negate 2 of your complications, so you lose. And you take a complication.
Okay.
I feel like while you're giving the discussion, maybe you slip an arm around his daughter's waist. And he's like, that's it!
Oh, I have an awesome complication if you want to
Tell me.
go with this.
Tell me.
He's going to let us go through with the plan, but he's going to send us a little extra muscle.
I like it.
He's going to aid us by giving us either one of his own, like, guards.
No, I've got it, buddy. I got it for you.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go that
He
far, but
stands
I
up
know
and he says,
exactly
"That's
what
it."
you're doing.
You know what? We're going to do both plans. I've been in contact with your family. I want to ensure this success, and as long as you and my daughter continue to get closer, he says with a sneer, looking at you putting an arm around his baby girl, I figured I should get closer to your family. What's your family's last name? We haven't really covered that, Doxson.
That's a great question.
Yep.
Let me use this handy-dandy Mistborn name generator I have pulled up and find out.
Wow, that smirk. She's smirking so hard.
Doxson Tarden. Tarnin.
Inquisitor Tarden will be joining us.
So this is the first time we see Dox lose his smile. But it's only for like a fraction of a second. I think it probably gives him away to Hiram because Hiram's like looking for it. Hiram is already suspicious of me. But like for that half a second, he's just like, oh no. And then the smile's immediately back and he goes, it would be great to have a reunion with my dear sister.
Your sister will cover the area I believe the rebels will be guarding. The area that this Jacobs has set aside.
Yeah, I have no choice but to like agree with his great plan.
I know, you could double down here. It's a totally different situation now that your sister's coming to play. If you
that's true.
If you want to, you can fight a battle against this guy on like an oh shit, you suck at influence.
Yeah.
You could try to fight a battle of wills against him. Spirit versus spirit.
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like he's probably like throwing a barb at me. Like he knows that me and the Tinai Jacobs don't get that. Wow, that's super embarrassing that I forgot that immediately after you said that.
Right.
Me and Jacobs don't get along, and so like when he says that name, my like eyes narrow, and I'm just like, not Jacobs. The man's a fool, and I proved it the other night. We'll go with my area.
I love it. You're like, we'll go with my area. Yeah, I mean, the spirit versus spirit is making a skeptic believe. You've already failed through one thing, so I feel like this is a pretty good one. Rally it. I feel like Iron Resolve is definitely going to come into play for you.
Yes, I would agree. And then I don't think trustworthy really helps me here just because this guy we've already established like really does not trust me. But if you'll give it to me, I'll take it.
I'll give it to you.
All right, so that'll bring me up to 6. And then Infiltrator.
His spirit is 3, and he's going to take Domineering Presence.
Cool. I've got 7 dice. I should own
Wow,
this fool.
actually, you will do pretty well.
Oh no! Oh no! I've got the force.
Pair
Okay.
force. All right, you got a pair
Okay.
force. You completely wipe the deck with him. You have 3 nudges. If you want, you can catch a beat here, which means you can take another action while he's completely off guard by your victory. I feel like this is you and him looking at each other. You're doing the Full Metal Alchemist 2 dudes staring at each other thing, and then he breaks away like, "Rah! You're right,
Yeah.
Jacobs is a fool. I never liked his mustache."
So I like
That's his reason.
I stroke my own mustache, you know. I'm trying to think what I can do with this beat here.
I mean, you could try to worm your way into his heart over the hand of his daughter.
Yeah. So maybe that's what I'll say is and perhaps when all this is done, when I've proven how useful I can be to yourself in the ministry, we can have another conversation about your daughter's marriage prospects.
All right. He has literally no ability to defend against whatever action you're taking, so it sounds like you're making a charm roll.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Go ahead. It's
So,
gonna be difficulty 2.
So I start with 4. I'm trustworthy. I'm worming myself into his good graces with if it's not infiltrating, I don't know what is. And then the one that I've been totally forgetting about this whole time is I'm a saboteur, and I'm sabotaging the hell out of this guy right now.
Right now, the marriage, though.
Well, but my house is 2 influence. Like, we're like practically destitute.
Right, but is it sabotaging, or are you actually... I mean, infiltrator, yes. I think sabotage, no. I'm not going to give you that one. You're
That's
not
fine.
out to destroy his house. I think, unless you're saying you want to destroy his house by marrying his daughter, I think what is actually happening is you're marrying his daughter and you're moving up in the world, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, let's
Someone's
roll it
saying
up.
manipulator. Do you have that trait?
I don't think I do.
You just are manipulative, for sure.
I'm just
And I'm just talking about you, Sam, not Docs.
Wow.
I know, slam dunk.
Brutal.
I've seen you play a holy priest.
Eh. Look, Aurelius is definitely more manipulative than I am. Let's be honest.
Hard to believe because you play him. So
5s.
wow, holy cow. So this is how it ends. He says, "Fine. Well, I have your sister. She'll be going with your team then. Screw Jacobs. You get to the ash with him. If this goes well, you... Oh, man, this is where it's going to double down on you. If you keep this shipment safe, I don't care about catching the rebels. I don't care about their base. That's ministry business." Now, I would say ministry, but that's inquisitorial business. You keep the shipments safe. We'll talk seriously about setting a date.
Man, this is like the most pulling on my 2 loyalties. That's perfect.
I know. Because what's going to happen is, as soon as they get out of the room, your girlfriend's going to be on your arm, and she's like, "Really? Really? It's time?" She's just so excited. She's like a little girl again. She does a twirling thing, and she's like, I actually have the perfect dress picked out. I've been waiting to have it made, but I know exactly what it's going to look like. I can't believe you convinced him.
I told you I would do it eventually. It was only a matter of time.
There's something I need to tell you.
Oh?
The Prelin, our Prelin, not my father, told me that there's someone in our unit. Someone that they don't trust. Someone who's been working for the Ska rebels.
A traitor?
A traitor in our midst. She like takes your hands in her hands. We have to make this work. Whether this works for the ministry or not, for the Canton of Inquisition, for us, the shipment has to get through.
Oh my god, you're
Please,
killing me, AP.
Won't you promise me? We'll do whatever it takes.
You're so screwed, dude.
Oh man, so I think this is where like he like looks her in the eyes and he like so badly wants to like he wants to be lying, but he knows that like in his heart he like really does want this. And you know, he says earnestly, I'll do everything I can.
All right. She slips her hands around your waist. Careless Whisper starts playing, and the two of you kiss as we fade to black. And saxophones are just like ba ba da da ba ba da da. Because you're not making a roll, I want to point out you have committed yourself to making sure that that shipment finds its way through.
Yeah,
Whether or not you actually catch the rebels and find the location of their hidden rebel base from them, the shipment has to go through.
Now, just to be clear, is this burning wheel rules where if the situation changes? No? Oh no.
Oh no. If I mean, you aren't bound by this, right? If you believe it now and you don't believe it later, that's a thing. But I mean, she's gonna feel pretty betrayed.
Oh yeah, I mean,
probably kill you.
Someone is definitely going to feel real betrayed by Docs at the end of this one shot. We're just gonna find out who, because I don't know yet. I really don't. Oh
right.
Man, this is a good game.
I feel like this is a great place to take a break. While when we come back, we're gonna set up for a rebel raid, and then we're gonna execute the rebel raid. All right. So we'll be back in about 7 minutes for the second half of the show. I'd like to thank everybody in the audience and everyone that's here for watching. It's been a rough day for almost everyone here, but we're getting through it. Actually, Sam, I think you were having a good day.
I'm having a pretty good. I mean, right. I have just last week finished my first week of the first job that I've ever actually enjoyed working, so that's been kind of nice. That won't last. Brutal.
I'm the reality fairy today, motherfucker.
Oh man,
it's been a bad day and I'm ready to destroy.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's see how you destroy Dox's life when we come back.
Sounds perfect.